If someone had walked into the restaurant that night, they would have seen a very elegant young woman sitting at a table for two, hands folded, breathing slowly like she was preparing for a marriage proposal or for surgery. Hard to tell which. The truth? Emma had never been closer in her life to a full-on emotional explosion. Because across from her sat Liam, her boyfriend of 3 years, her co-renter, her laundry partner, her someday-we'll-get-married companion, smiling like a man who definitely had a ring box in his pocket. She was sure of it. Positive. Her intuition had never been this strong. Her stomach was doing Olympic gymnastics. Her heart kept whispering, "It's finally happening." And then, "Close your eyes," Liam said, voice warm and trembling with excitement. Emma did. Her entire future flashed before her eyes. The proposal, the photos, the calls to her friends, her mom screaming so loudly that neighbors would file noise complaints. She saw the wedding, the first dance, even the badly behaved children dropping cake on carpets. Her smile widened as she felt him place something gently into her hands. She opened her eyes and saw a scarf. A long, soft beige scarf. Not a ring. Not a box. Not a symbol of eternal love. Just a scarf. "Do you like it?" Liam grinned, glowing like he had just handed her the crown jewels. "I was hiding it in my dresser so you wouldn't find it too early." Emma stared at him, realizing something horrifying. This man, this wonderful, sweet man, was going to drive her absolutely insane, because this wasn't the first time he'd done this. Oh no, this was merely the peak incident of a year-long saga Emma now referred to privately as the boy who cried proposal. It had started innocently enough. A wink here, a flirty, maybe sooner than people think, a sudden interest in her Pinterest wedding board, which, to be fair, was 50% wedding dresses and 50% memes about hating table assignments. But then it escalated. Questions about rings, hints about venues, mystical secrecy about drawers. Every week. Some new maybe moment that left Emma clutching her chest like a Victorian widow. And yet, each time, just like tonight, the grand reveal turned out to be a false alarm, a fake-out, a romantic prank no one had asked for. Emma loved Liam, truly, but she could feel something inside her shifting, something dangerous, something that whispered, "If he fakes one more proposal, you might actually strangle him with that scarf." And this, though she didn't know it yet, was only the beginning. Because soon, Emma would reach her limit. And when she did, Liam's joking days would be over. So would the relationship. Emma wasn't a dramatic person by nature. She didn't cry during commercials, she didn't scream when she saw a spider. She hired Liam to do the screaming. And she didn't overreact to minor inconveniences. But lately her life had become a weekly cycle of emotional CPR. Because every 7 days, like clockwork, Liam dropped a new accidental hint about proposing. It was like he subscribed to a newsletter called Confuse Your Girlfriend, Engagement Edition. One Tuesday evening, Liam reached into his back pocket dramatically, paused, and whispered, "Wait, I think I..." Oh wow. Emma froze. Her eyebrows did an automatic Olympic lift. Her heart rate jumped like it heard a starter pistol. Liam slowly pulled out his wallet. "I found $20 I forgot I had," he announced proudly. Emma considered throwing him out the window. Politely, of course. Another day, he casually slid next to her on the couch. "What's this board?" he asked, clicking on My Dream Wedding like he'd discovered the Holy Grail. She watched him scroll with the same energy a man scrolls a stock chart 5 minutes before making a terrible decision. "So, what style of ring again?" he asked thoughtfully. Emma's hopes rose like a helium balloon tying itself into a heart shape, until he added, "Because I'm helping my coworker pick a ring for his girlfriend. Totally his, not mine." "Why would you think that?" "Babe, relax. You're so jumpy." "Jumpy? Oh, sweetheart, you made her that way." And of course, there was the dresser drawer, the sacred drawer, the forbidden drawer. The drawer he protected with the intensity of someone guarding the last slice of pizza. Every time Emma walked past it, he materialized like a ghost. "Don't open that!" One time she sneezed in its direction and he nearly dove across the room to shield it with his body. So naturally, one night when he wasn't home, she gently tugged it open. Inside? Socks. Boring, painfully normal socks. One pair still had the tag on it. He'd been protecting discount socks from Target. Emma sat on the floor, staring into the drawer, contemplating the collapse of her sanity. After 12 months of this emotional roller coaster, Emma had become an expert at hiding the "oh God, is this it?" micro-expression. But inside, she was exhausted, tired of flinching every time he touched his pocket, tired of gasping every time he said, "I have a surprise," tired of congratulating herself for getting excited over nothing. The truth was settling in her chest like a stone. He wasn't being romantic. He wasn't building suspense. He was trolling her. Accidentally, or maybe on purpose. And Emma? Emma was reaching the point where even the word proposal made her eyelid twitch. Little did she know, the biggest fake out of all was still ahead. And after that, there would be no turning back. It happened on a Saturday, the kind of cozy, slow morning where birds chirp, sunlight streams peacefully through the curtains, and one's boyfriend decides, for absolutely no reason, to emotionally traumatize them again. Emma was sipping coffee when Liam walked in with the swagger of a man who just watched one YouTube video titled "How to Look Suspicious." "Babe," he said, voice lowered to that silky, dramatic tone he only used when trying to sound mysterious. "I need you to dress nicely tonight. I'm taking you somewhere special." Emma nearly inhaled her spoon. She blinked at him slowly. "Special how?" He smiled a secret smile. "You'll see." Oh no, 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 no. This was too familiar. Too specific. Too proposal-coded. She mentally checked the date. No anniversary, no holiday, no inside joke day. But maybe he didn't need a date? Maybe this was finally it? Her heart did a dangerous, reckless little pirouette. The preparation stage, hope versus experience. As Emma curled her hair that evening, two voices battled in her head. Hope. This is it. It's finally happening. Experience. Remember the scarf. Remember the scarf. She wore her favorite dress, the elegant one he always said made her look like a woman he would propose to someday. Gee, thanks, Liam. Very specific timeline. He wore a crisp shirt and cologne that smelled like expensive intentions. They drove to a cliffside viewpoint overlooking the city. Too romantic. Suspiciously romantic. She wasn't ready for this level of romance without an ambulance nearby. Liam guided her to the railing. His hand trembled slightly. Her breathing matched. He looked into her eyes. She felt tears already threatening to form. He reached into his jacket pocket. Her soul left her body. Her entire future flashed in front of her. He pulled out a rock, a literal rock. "Look," he said excitedly. "It's shaped like a heart." Emma stared. Blink, blink, blink. It kind of was. Like barely. If you squinted and turned your head and were maybe drunk. He placed the rock into her palm as if gifting her priceless treasure. "No one else has a heart-shaped rock from this cliff," he said proudly. "It's special, like you." Emma mentally drafted her obituary. On the drive home, Emma stared out the window, clutching the rock like it was radioactive. She wasn't angry. Not exactly. More like emotionally concussed. When they reached their apartment, Liam kissed her cheek. "Babe," he whispered, "your face looked so funny when you thought I was proposing." He laughed. She didn't. He paused. You didn't actually think that, right?" Emma inhaled slowly, deeply, the way people do before making life-changing decisions. She placed the rock gently on the table. Then she turned to him, voice calm, steady, terrifyingly adult. "Liam, we need to talk." His smile vanished. Because even men who love jokes know that those words are no joke. And for the first time in a very, very long time, Liam realized he might actually lose her. Liam sat on the edge of the couch like a kid waiting for his exam results. Emma stood in front of him, arms crossed, face calm in that calm before the hurricane way that made every neuron in his body scream, "Abort mission. Retreat immediately. Hide behind the couch. Play dead." But he didn't move. Emma took a breath, slow, steady, surgical. "Liam," she began, "I love you, but I can't keep living like this." He blinked. Like what? You know what? I don't think I do?" "Okay," she said, sitting across from him, leaning forward. "Then let me explain it in simple terms." She held up a finger. 1. Every week for the past year, you've hinted at proposing. Second finger. 2. Every hint turns out to be a false alarm. Third finger. 3. The number of times I have nearly passed out from emotional whiplash is now officially higher than the number of socks in your sacred drawer. He winced. "Hey, those socks are..." "Don't defend the socks." He shut up immediately. She continued. "You've taken me on romantic drives that go nowhere, given me gifts in dramatic ways that looked exactly like proposal setups, asked a million questions about rings and Pinterest boards, and then handed me a rock." "It was heart-shaped," he murmured softly. "Liam, it was shaped like a kidney." He opened his mouth, then closed it again. Probably the smartest thing he'd done in months. Emma pressed on, voice firm but heartbreakingly gentle. "I know you love me. I know you want to marry me, someday. But you don't understand what your teasing is doing to me. It's exhausting. I'm tired of getting my hopes up only to crash back down every single time." Liam swallowed, eyes widening as the gravity of it finally hit him. "I didn't mean to hurt you," he whispered. "I was trying to make it fun, build excitement. You know, suspense." "Suspense is when you wait a week for a new episode," Emma said. "Not when you keep pretending you're about to propose for 12 straight months." He rubbed his forehead. "I'm sorry, really. I didn't think it was that serious." "That's the problem," she said quietly. "You didn't think." Silence settled between them. The kind that feels thick, heavy, dangerous. Finally, Liam reached for her hand. Slowly, cautiously, like approaching a wild animal. "Emma, I want to marry you. I really do. I'm just not ready yet." She withdrew her hand. He froze. "Liam," she said, voice trembling now, "I can wait for you to be ready. I can give you time. But I can't keep doing this. I can't keep being the punchline of your proposal jokes." He opened his mouth to promise he could change, to say he'd stop teasing, stop hinting, stop trolling her heart. But something about her expression told him this wasn't a fix-it moment. This was a realization moment, a turning point. Emma stood. Liam's stomach dropped. Because he suddenly understood this wasn't just a conversation. This was the beginning of the end. Emma didn't leave immediately. She wasn't dramatic like that. There were no slammed doors, no thrown shoes, no tearful monologues with thunder rumbling in the background. No. Emma ended things the way she did everything, calmly, clearly, and with more dignity than Liam honestly deserved. But that didn't make it hurt any less. The next morning, she sat at the kitchen table with a cup of tea she didn't drink. Liam hovered nearby like a ghost wearing a hoodie. "Emma," he whispered, "can we talk about last night?" "We did talk," she said softly. "You just didn't hear me until it was too late." He flinched. She continued, voice low but steady. "I love you, and I know you love me. But love isn't enough if we're constantly out of sync. I can't live in this cycle of fake proposals and almost moments. It's exhausting. I want a relationship where I feel secure, not one where I'm constantly bracing for another joke that hits too close." Liam's throat tightened. "I can stop. I will stop. I swear." "Liam," she interrupted gently, "it's not just the jokes, it's what they revealed." He froze. "You're not ready for marriage. And that's okay, but I am. And I can't keep waiting for you to maybe be ready someday." He stepped closer. "Then I'll get ready now." "No," she said, shaking her head. "Not for me. That's not how it works." He sank into the chair across from her, eyes burning with regret he should have felt months ago. "So, what happens now?" Emma sighed, tears finally rising but not falling. "I'm moving out. I'll stay with Mia until I find a place. We both need a clean break to figure out what we actually want." "You're breaking up with me," he said, voice cracking. "I am," she whispered. And just like that, the words became real. She stood, walked to the table, and placed something in front of him. The rock. The infamous rock. The heart-shaped-ish abomination that had become the mascot of his emotional cluelessness. She slid it across the table like a poker player placing her final card. "Keep this," she said. "A reminder that not everything shaped like a heart is love." Ouch. Even the rock winced at that one. She packed slowly, thoughtfully. He tried to help, but she gently pushed his hands away. The last thing she grabbed was the scarf, the one he'd dramatically presented on the cliff as if it were an engagement ring. She folded it neatly and placed it in her bag. He frowned. "You're keeping the scarf?" She nodded. "Of course, it's a lovely scarf. It wasn't the scarf's fault." Then she shouldered her bag, walked to the door, and paused just once. "Liam, I hope you figure out what you want. I really do." He swallowed, unable to speak. She opened the door. "And next time," she added softly, "when you're finally ready to propose to someone, just propose. Don't spend a year practicing on them." Then she was gone. Liam sat alone, staring at the rock, replaying every fake proposal he'd ever made. Every wink, every tease, every maybe sooner than people think. And for the first time in his life, he finally understood something. There is no such thing as harmless suspense when you're dating a woman with a wedding Pinterest board.